Welcome to the Regular Joe's podcast. I'm Dave Pisani.
I'm Barry Kay.
I'm Todd Pleasant.
I'm Daryl DePriest.
And I'm Brian Mix.
Live instrumental intro, everybody.
Yeah,
we're doing it live.
Yeah.
441 episodes it took for me to do that.
That's right. Tonight we have a very special episode, people.
Very special.
We're going to talk to Brian about his problem. That's all.
Yeah.
The title "Very Special Episode" always indicated some, something. So here we go.
Start smoking or something.
Yeah.
So we got our pals here. Brian, newly on the East Coast. Now we're all on the same time. Oh, it's funny. I was thinking today. I'm like, oh, geez. Is it too early for Brian? And I totally did not think about that.
And Brian at this moment is sitting in a sea of cardboard boxes. It's just like
we used to hold Brian up from eating dinner. Now he gets to eat dinner before we record.
That's right. Yeah, it's like if this, you should like take a shot of this, and this should be your Zoom background. So just like
the boxes behind.
They're just the boxes. Yeah.
Yeah, we could have a whole show of what's in the box. Brian could just go back there.
The answer is everything is in the box.
Everything's in the box.
Everything's in the box.
Yeah, exactly. We have Daryl here. Daryl, how are you?
I'm doing great, guys. Great to hang out.
Always a good hangout.
Yeah.
Speaking of hangout, so you mentioned, what are you drinking, Daryl? You're the only one I think actually drinking. What are you drinking?
When I was in San Diego last year for summer, Brian took me to a very cool tiki bar in San Diego called False Idol. And they had a drink there called the Jet Pilot, which I'd never had before. And I recreated that tonight. So,
nice.
Brian, hey, man, cheers.
Hey, cheers.
It's very heavy on, it calls for a bunch of stuff, absinthe and falernum and bunch of obscure ingredients. And I think I might have put a little too much absinthe in it. So it's
it's funny what I mentioned to you. So I've been trying to make tiki drinks this summer, and I've been watching a guy on YouTube, The Educated Barfly. I've only seen it, but he puts absinthe in a couple of things. Actually, was it a Mai Tai? He made one episode that he had like 5 different Mai Tais. They're all very different, but he uses like a nose dropper thing. Like he doesn't put much in at all.
Right.
Oh.
When they call for a dash, a lot of people use that. A lot of the bitters jars that are, bottles that are sold have those little eye drop.
Yeah. And then what else did you put in it? A flirkin?
Okay.
No, it's a liqueur called falernum. So it's pretty popular for tiki drinks.
He used that too in one of his things, but I've been making some.
Right, but here's the real question: Is Patty going to be bringing you a refill? Because the last time that happened, you were on the floor by the end of the episode.
It did not go well. She said tonight, just one drink. You can't make it a double. And I think I told you guys I accidentally doubled what was already a doubled recipe for a scorpion. That was not good.
Scorpion, 4 people share a scorpion sometimes.
That was not a good night, Barry. It was fun podcast.
More power to you.
Yeah.
After that, it was not good.
We had a really good time that night. You were fun. Yeah. Not that you're not fun usually, but that was a fun night.
During my drive across the country, I got to stop and see Daryl and his amazing collection. And he made me a Trinidad Sour, which is a very difficult drink to make.
Trinidad Sour. Wow, that's
Sour.
I'm just sort of sticking to the Blue Hawaiis and Rum Runners.
Almost all bitters.
When Dave was here a couple weekends ago, we made Blue Hawaiis. Blue Hawaiis or Blue Hawaiians?
Blue Hawaiians.
With
the cocoa stuff in it.
Cocoa, yeah.
Cream the cocoa.
Blue curacao? Oh, cream of cocoa. Really?
That's the Blue Hawaiian. The Blue Hawaii has vodka and not cream the cocoa.
Blue. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, they're two different.
Blue curacao. Isn't that the bounty hunter on Boba Fett? Wait a minute.
Exactly. But we have 0 tiki bars anywhere within 50 miles of this place, which is awful. So I've been trying to make.
I haven't looked what's near me, but I'm near DC, so there's got to be one close by.
I know. Well,
gotta be.
Well, there is one. I did find one there. I hadn't gone to it. Oh, there was one in closer to you, I think. I walked by it. There's an ice cream place that I've been to a couple times, and there's a tiki bar there. Anyway, not that we have an agenda, but It's always good to talk tiki drinks. So what's Brian, I said we're just going to go around, and you said you had some earth-shattering things to say.
I have earth-shattering news. Eagle Moss is going bankrupt.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we've already texted about that.
Well, we figured out why. It's because Todd stopped buying stuff from him.
Yeah. I tapered way back. What can I tell you?
I'm
feeling tremendous guilt.
Not just the little models, but the poor people who are subscribing to their model kit series.
That is the first thing.
And didn't you subscribe to one?
I did, but it's finished.
I
finished my
big
DD5.
Enterprise. The Enterprise D is is like 3 or 4 shipments from completion, and those people are totally in the air.
And
really,
that
sucks.
The Ectomobile, and they do.
I'm so glad I didn't get into any of those.
Oh, so is the Ecto
what's really
still
funny
not
is,
done?
No, they're only a few kits in. They're like 6 kits in.
Oh wait, what's the one? Adam Savage has been building one for like a year and a half. Is that not the Eagle Moss one?
No, it's.
Is he doing his
I
DeLorean?
think it's
the Ecto.
I think there's 2 of them. I think that's the company that I got the Falcon from. The D'Agostini is doing an Ecto.
Oh yeah, that may be.
They're still in business. I'm still getting. In fact, like I said, I just finished a kit with them.
Right, you've got that half Falcon, Brian, Barry, that from D'Agostini.
No, I've got the whole Falcon.
Oh,
the 36-inch one.
Yeah, it's the studio scale Empire Falcon.
Yeah, that's right.
I've got the kit. I haven't built it yet.
So this is tragic. It's actually, I see a pattern emerging here. The previous company that did a whole metric ton of Batmobiles, Corgi, also went out of business.
Yeah,
and then Eagle Moss did the Batmobile series that Todd and I collect.
But I mean, the Batmobile series was even. I mean, they were done with that years ago. The Star Trek thing was the thing that. I mean, we thought like we were going to get like 60 ships, and they were at like 150.
I'm glad I bailed on that.
It was like, they had gone to, the extremes, and then they were redoing a lot of them as XL versions, which many of them are behind me, and. I love them. I think they're fantastic.
Not enough, obviously, to keep them in business.
But it's I gave them a lot of money. I gotta say.
Well, what's really weird is I was actually on their website the day before you texted me that, because I was actually watching and enjoying the Orville, and I was about to buy. They've got the Orville ship, and then I realized that they redid the model for the digital model for this season, and it's not like stark white anymore. And I was like, oh, do I really want that?
Actually.
Maybe I'm thinking, oh, maybe they'll do a new updated version of it, but I guess not.
What I really like from Orville is the new shuttle, whereas the old one was just ridiculous looking. The new one is actually very, very cool. It's in some ways reminiscent of like the Raptor from Battlestar. And because it's got that little kind of squat with the. And I really like it. I was like, oh, that's great. I'm definitely going to buy that when they make that, but they will not.
So do you think we're going to get like a going out of business sale?
They've got inventory.
They're like, I think they're probably going to push that out to someone will push it out to somebody else to sell.
It'll be at
everything.
like Odd Lot or someplace.
I've actually been looking around a little bit, and there's a number of people that were selling their products that are still selling their products. But in fact, a number of companies are still taking pre-orders on things that are down the line. So they just haven't put out any information, and it's, it's a British company, and, they're not saying bankruptcy, but they use different terms. And so, yeah, I mean, possibly they can reorganize. They were
bankruptcy doesn't always mean going out of business.
No, but again, that's what I'm saying. But they're not using the same terms.
In the United States, it means that. What does it mean in England?
Maybe they actually have some.
They're under administration, okay, and so basically they can't write checks anymore. So again, somebody might buy them. There's a number of different things that could happen. We don't know.
And I'm sure they have a warehouse full of product, right?
Oh yeah, but there's also a lot of people who work for that company, and they've done a good job with things. And I hope, like I said, I hope they can pull it out. But I will say there's a few things. They've been a little slower this year with announcements. They're also so extended with product lines that they've got.
Yeah, they bit off more than they could chew. I think,
and that's what I'm saying. I think they probably, but to that end, there's a ton of items that they have that were on pre-order. So what is going to happen to all these people with pre-orders?
Hey, when Anovos sold out to the other company, they said, okay, the other company said, we'll ship your Star Wars stuff. With Star Trek, too bad.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone's happy with that company either. But speaking of Star Trek ships, did anyone sign up for the Tomy? I did. Oh, you did? I don't think they're going to get there, though.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
6 days and they're under 1 million still.
I would have, but I already have one in that scale.
You might as well do it because it doesn't sound like it's going to get made. So,
see, I don't go by that because I've said to you, I would buy one in a heartbeat. I don't have space for it, and if I go in and they accidentally get funded, then I'm stuck with it.
One of my favorite recent Eagle Moss things. I think this is my last big batch of things. Is the bird of prey that they redid for Picard,
nice.
Which also is was used just recently, and in a TV series where I never anticipated seeing one, which was really really cool. And so this is great. And so I put this with my Strange New Worlds Enterprise, but kind of sad. Like I said, we won't see, because like one of the things I remember watching that episode thinking, oh, well, I'll get a Farragut now, and it's someone.
Yeah, I may have to order that Orville ship just because I doubt I'm ever going to see another version of it come through.
Right. Yeah, I would say that's the case. So
it's too bad. That was such a good company. I loved collecting that Batmobile series. It's really
they went so deep in that series. I mean, like I've got things, I've got probably 40 of them on display, but there's other things like the flying Batmobile, the flying Bat Cave,
the Bat Lab. Yeah, the Bat Cave.
That's just absolutely brilliant. It's like it's appeared once in a 12-page story from like 1954, and they made this thing, and it's amazing.
It was such an amazing run. So, I mean, that company clearly had a lot of talent who cared deeply about the subject that they were working on. It's going to be sorry to see them go. I hope they can reorganize and especially fulfill those last, like you were saying, those last months of the subscription projects people are on.
Yeah.
You know who fulfills me? Fanboy Collectibles.
Wow, that was a
Todd. Moon
Segway,
Knight
baby.
Pops. There are Moon Knight Pops. Check them out. Also, and I'm almost sorry I saw this. Hot Toys Kenobi from Kenobi. I think I have to have that.
That
with
is
the floating rock backdrop.
The floating rock stand is amazing.
And I gotta say that was the thing where, like, when I first saw that they were making a figure, I was like, yeah, okay. And then I
said to myself, I'm not doing it. And then I saw the pictures.
Oh my freaking God! With those flying rocks, that's like
Yeah. But not only that, so order your Hot Toys Kenobi. I gotta send Troy a note. What else, Daryl? What else they have?
They have a lot of statues. They have Kotobukiya. You already mentioned Pops, right?
I did mention Pops.
You should mention it again because there are
Pops
so
and
many
Hot Toys and Sideshow and Kotobukiyas and Kotobukayas.
Yep,
they got everything you need.
12-inch, like crazy. All
You know what they have in stock right now that I'm going to buy right now is the Joan Jett Funko Pop.
Yeah, I am also buying the Joan Jett Funko Pop. I saw that the other day and I was like, oh yeah, that's going on my next order.
So everything you need. Check those guys out, fanboycollectibles.com. Check them out at their store in Newtown, Connecticut. And Brian, you're not that far from them now. You can check them out in their store in Newtown, Connecticut.
I'm going to drop by. Actually, I was intrigued by Todd talking about his statue last week, the Iron Man statue. I've been looking at it on Fanboys.
It is amazing.
It is pretty cool because I really love the traditional Iron Man. You just don't see it much, but it's pretty cool.
Honestly, I'm telling you, this is my favorite 1/6 scale statue right now, and it's got it's got a good amount of competition, but there's just the
wow.
How they've got the just the way the armor looks, the clear kind of thing in the repulsor in the chest, it's just amazing, and oh my God, I broke it. Oh no. But They did such a fantastic job with it. And then this is all like this is different tones, and the bass is with all little detritus, and it's just such a cool thing.
Well, Brian, when you order it, you know what to do? Tell them the Regular Joe sent you.
That's right.
It is amazing when you look at Todd obviously pulled the arm off and it's held on with a magnet, but 20 years ago, they didn't do that.
No.
They shipped a statue in a big giant box with all the extremities, attached. And they've gotten so much smarter over the years about how to package and how to ship those things. It's pretty amazing.
Yeah. Yep.
So I've got a topic that is similar to the enterprise thing not getting funded. And I wanted to talk about this. And when we said we were going to have Daryl on, I wanted his perspective on this too. But so the second in a row, Star Wars HasLab item or project did not get funded. This one, I think, comes as no surprise to anybody that it didn't get funded. But the third sister, Reva's lightsaber, was 6.5 feet long. It was $500. It had no stretch goals to speak of. And it only got 1,400 backers of the 5,000 it needed to
That's a pretty obscure
funded.
character to build something from.
Well, she was.
They didn't think so.
She was prominent in the series. The lightsaber is actually cool. I was actually surprised, Barry, that it didn't have any of the rotating action that we put. We created Grievous's lightsaber as a toy, and I worked with one of my all-time favorite designers at Hasbro was a guy named Brian Parrish on the Star Wars team. And he created, I remember when Lucasfilm showed us Grievous on early on the show with the double-bladed lightsaber. Actually, I think it was in the movie, right? And I said, can we do this? And he came up with a clutch mechanism so you could rotate that saber and actually spin it. It might be for safety reasons they didn't do that, but the technology definitely exists. It was done before. I was actually surprised it wasn't implemented in that, because that may have just put it over the top if they had done that.
I can't believe though, it was when it was all assembled on its stand, it was 6.5 feet long. That is, you're automatically limiting the number of people that are gonna buy it. Now I realize that they've made some really big items before, but people will dedicate the space to display a sail barge. Are they going to just dedicate 6.5 feet to display this lightsaber?
Well, I think they're just different audiences, and that's I think what Hasbro is learning is that the role play or cosplay audience, the people who like the sabers, aren't necessarily the ones who actually collect the toys. Because if you collect toys, you're making a space commitment. Just like I'm looking at 3 display rooms behind me that are totally devoted to toys and also some small prop replicas, but not like the VFX lightsabers that they have. That's like, you guys don't have those all over your walls.
There are some people do, but it's not practical. I have, there's a bunch, they all sit against the corner here. You can't see them, but that's the...
I've got mine in that corner right there behind the door. But
there actually was a stretch goal. If they had hit their number, Hayden Christensen was going to go to each person's house, wound them, and then inexplicably leave.
I think they were casting, Barry, after the last Black Series one didn't work. They were casting for a new audience to see if they could make it happen. And
$500 for a lightsaber seemed like a lot to me.
Well, yeah. But
for a toy lightsaber,
I don't know.
I mean, when you're buying,
when you can
Disney ones,
when you go to Disney World and you can get a really great lightsaber, and I get single bladed, whatever, not round, but for under $200, you get a lightsaber and a blade and a very high quality at Disney. For something like this to be $500, and I realize it's short run and all that, but I get it. But
I think the availability of awesome sabers in the Disney park has definitely hurt them. Those aren't made by Hasbro; they're made by Disney, and that's definitely hurt them because how many of those are going out of the park every day? Hundreds, if not thousands.
Todd and I are responsible for a dozen one day.
At least,
just us.
It's probably really hurt Hasbro's business. But getting back to the kind of crowdfunding model, I do feel that the action figure model works. It works fundamentally well, especially when your stretch goals are awesome. And look to the amazing success that the G.I. Joe team has had with the last 2 The two crowdfunding exercises. The most recent one, which is active now, is a 6-inch scale classified his tank, which is unbelievably awesome. It's the first his tank with electronics in it and lighting and all kinds of stuff. It's so cool. So there's you just have to use your imagination.
That was a smart move. People love that vehicle, and it just
it's so iconic, Todd. That's the that's the issue.
Have they done any vehicles in that line other than like motorcycles up to this point?
I'm not sure.
I think remember seeing anything in the 6-inch scale, but I saw that one. That looks amazing. I don't know, I just thought it was worth noting, especially given it's the second Star Wars one in a row, and I realize they're going after different audiences with them, but
yep. I mean, hopefully they'll get back
finding
hopefully they'll get back to some awesome figure-based stuff to blow us away, especially in 3 3/4. Like I'd sign up for the Naboo Starfighter, Mandalorian hot rod.
Yeah,
I think that's cool.
That could be interesting.
Yeah. Hot Toys just built a 1/6 scale one, but I think it's just for their display in their Hot Toys store. Yeah. They've been advertising it on Instagram and social media as if it's a product, but I think it's like many of the other things they've built over the years. I think it's just for display in their store, but it looks amazing.
Yeah, that would take up quite a bit of space.
Do you still have one of those hanging in your garage, or?
No, I actually sold my 2 Naboo Starfighter store displays I had.
That's too bad because
I put them in auction before I left Rhode Island, so they're too big to carry. It wasn't even worth putting them on the moving truck.
Yeah,
you could have rode those down to.
I was going to say though that painted silver would be be pretty awesome now.
I got one for Daryl as well. I don't know if you've seen that Comic-Con Mattel is relaunching Major Matt Mason.
No, I didn't see that, Brian.
Oh, but did you see it though?
I did see
the picture.
Yeah.
They're doing a whole line of figures that they're doing in like traditional like 5-point of articulation small figure scale. They're doing a Big Jim figure, a Matt Mason figure, and there's a third
those reactive figures or reaction
they're
figures?
kind of like that.
Oh, it's like a Mattel combined universe.
Yeah, Matt Mason's been spending the last 50 years pumping iron because he is beefed up now.
Yeah, it looks
Matt
like
Mason
in '95 when they brought Star Wars back, and it was like bulky Luke. It's
that's a shame. They couldn't make the bendy figures. That would have been awesome.
No, and worse, the Matt Mason guys are so upset he doesn't come with a helmet and has no way to wear one.
Are you kidding me?
No.
Oh my god! Time that is.
He'd die in seconds.
Yeah.
That's a shame. It's just to use the name is awful.
Oh.
Yeah, it's too bad.
The third one, you'll love this. The third one in the line is Pulsar.
Oh yeah, Pulsar's cool. Todd,
Pulsar was like 13-inch figure, right?
Yeah, I'm taking a screenshot of this and sending it in the text so you guys can see it.
So Barry,
it's really not good.
It is like a Mattel Boys Universe kind of thing. That idea is pretty cool, actually.
Yeah, they're calling them back in action. So they're bringing back dead brand.
Yeah,
but
I think Big Jim should be proportionately smaller than Pulsar. I think they should have them.
They're not even any fun.
Yeah.
No, they're not good. They're not good.
Oh my god, that's stupid. It's just the name.
Yeah.
The Pulsar's cool. He's got the clear chest.
Pulsar looks really cool. Matt Mason looks every way wrong.
Yeah, every way wrong.
Really bad.
Was Pulsar like closer to 13-inch than 12-inch?
Yes, he was.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, it was a big figure.
That's a bummer.
It was kind of like $6 million man.
He was more
size.
like $6 million
really
man
big.
scale. Yeah.
Yep, exactly.
That's a shame. So, is anyone going to San Diego Comic-Con?
I know.
Is this the first one you've missed in a long time?
In at least 30 years.
Oh, jeez. Sorry.
Yeah. Like I would fly back, but I just got here. There's so much work to do.
Yeah.
I can't do it.
On the Major Matt Mason threat, did anyone, when they saw on For All Mankind, when they saw the Helios spacesuits, did you think Major Matt Mason for a second?
Yeah.
No, because they were so bulky.
But they had They had that.
They had all the little vents in the right place. Yeah.
But the lander was totally lost in space.
It actually reminded me a little bit of the spacesuit that they did in the G.I. Joe line with when he was packed with the alien.
Yeah, there was a major version of that, right? Then they had the kind of clamp on thing.
I know the one you're talking about.
Yeah, the Secret of Planet Xenome. It did
Planet Xenome, yeah.
Especially when he walked into the hab. Yeah, he looked super muscular, like his shoulders were all like hulked out.
He looked like Luther from
Umbrella Academy.
Umbrella Academy, you know?
Yes. Yes. He looked super hulked out. It was a cool design.
Yeah.
All right, who's got a topic? Somebody jump in.
I got a couple things, but this is one. So this guy, what's his name? David Knopp, who's a writer who's written a number of things, including Jurassic Park, Mission Impossible, Spider-Man, did an interview recently where he said that he was very unhappy writing the script for Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull.
We all
didn't like the idea of using aliens.
Oh my God!
Oh, I did see that. I saw the headline.
So this guy's got a lot of. He's written a lot of, actually very, very good films. I honestly don't think, and I was just wondering what you guys think on this, because when I think of this, I don't think conceptually using aliens what was wrong with this film.
Especially if it was that 50s kind of thing. It wasn't.
That's what I'm saying. I feel it fit in with the 50s thing and the Russians and all that kind of stuff. I just felt they did it terribly.
Yes,
making it interdimensional and all this kind of weird, didn't make any sense shit. And plus the movie itself was kind of a parody of an Indiana Jones film.
So he's saying he didn't want to do it. They forced him. We just don't like what you did with it, buddy. So it is your fault.
And that's what I'm saying is, and I was just wondering what your guys read on it. I
if
don't
it
feel
was
the
sort
aliens,
of
what was what
straight aliens, sort of
what made that bad.
Spaceship, the gray aliens, and not a big deal with it. It was just so convoluted. I would have been fine with aliens to a small degree, but not the way they did it.
So I'm actually with him. So as you guys know, I helped do the Indiana Jones toy line at Hasbro. And when it was first announced, I think I was on a plane like the next day out to Lucasfilm to, get basically the download on the, on the script and what it was about. And when I first heard that it was aliens, I had the kind of the same reaction the scriptwriter did. Really? Do I have to do this? Is this, are you really adding this into this franchise? Because I feel Indiana Jones is great with a mystical aspect, like this mystical spiritual aspect, but it's all based on earthly gods kind of thing, things that people believe in or could believe that have this power. The fact that there's an extraterrestrial power, this extraterrestrial life, it didn't fit for me in Indiana Jones. And I, from the beginning, I was very worried about that. When it was introduced, I didn't think it was right.
And you were right.
Well, I mean, it could be an execution. I mean, so many things are wrong with the execution, but I still have a feeling that the Indiana Jones universe is better if there aren't aliens in it.
I think it's all about unexplained and unexplainable things and seeking answers for things that can't be explained. So done properly, I think it could have worked. It's just, again, it's hard to divorce that idea from what we got, and that's, yeah. So that said, who's going to buy the Crystal Skull from Disney?
Barry looked at it.
I looked at it and opted not to because
it's still in your basket, Barry.
Yeah, they keep emailing me about things that are in my basket that I didn't buy.
I don't know where I got mine from. So I had to get one because I'm a completist like Todd. And so I have to have every artifact. And that is, part of the canon now. I really like mine. I don't know where I got it from.
It wasn't undersized for $250.
Yeah.
It's definitely undersized.
The Disney one is just too small, too expensive. But I saw a review today of somebody who got it in hand, and he says he loves it. So, I mean,
I
bigger,
did get my
probably would've pulled the
Sankara
trigger.
stone thanks to Brian saying they're there in stock at the park, and I ordered it. It came, I think, 2 days later, like you, Dave. It's awesome. I love the Sankara.
You do? All right, we'll talk more about that later. Because I have some things like that for my what's in the box. Speaking of Indiana Jones, so I know we even talked about Chris Pratt, suggesting that he could be replaced, Harrison Ford if they were to recast Indiana Jones. And he said in an interview that there's no way would play Indiana Jones because when Harrison Ford dies, he's afraid he'll haunt him. And even Spielberg in this thing said there's only one Indiana Jones. It's Harrison Ford. He's the only one who will play Indiana Jones. Meanwhile, there's how many? 3 other people who've played Indiana Jones.
Yes. Yep.
Right?
Well, and then, Steven, if you feel that strongly, why is it that you're not directing this new movie? Because there should only be one director directing Indiana Jones.
Well, because he messed up the last
4
one.
other people.
But I'm fine with. We've gone through this a million times. I would like a Chris Pratt as Indiana Jones if they were to reboot it.
I think
I don't know.
I think Chris Pine.
I think Chris Hemsworth.
I was going to say the same thing, Chris Pine.
Yep. In Wonder Woman, the scenes where he was out of uniform and he was and they're like fighting in the city and stuff like that, and I'm like, oh, there's such an indie vibe to him. And
we've seen a lesser version of Chris. We've seen a lesser version of Chris Pratt as Indy in these Jurassic World movies, and he's not that good at it.
I think the movie's just not that
channeling.
good.
He's also just he's got the wrong vibe. So
he's not doing Indy Barry.
No, I'm not saying he's doing Indy, but there's an Indy aspect to that character, and it's just I don't know. It just doesn't seem to work that well.
You brought up Chris Pine. I got to throw way back to last week's episode. The Jim Kirk on Strange New Worlds was terrible. He was just so bland and so not James Kirk. I was disappointed in the Kirk. I think Sam was better than Jim.
Sam was a little more outgoing. I don't necessarily disagree with that. He's a little plain. I think he was probably trying, with more retrospect, trying so hard not to be Shatner. And when you're not Shatner, you're almost boring. So
he should try to be Chris Pine. That's what he should have done. Go do Chris Pine.
Chris Pine did it great. That's why.
Yeah. There's actually some great outtakes with Chris Pine being too Shatner and being like, that was too Shatner, wasn't it? And then they'd like redo it.
I think Chris Pine has that brashness and all that gung-ho-ness without crossing the Shatner line and being, Shatner. I mean,
Chris Pine will leave his ship and sleep with an alien slave girl. That guy that played Kirk on that show wouldn't.
No, he's too reserved. That's a tough spot to step into, but
so
I hear you.
Brian, since you opened the door, otherwise, what'd you think of that episode?
Oh, that was outstanding. Absolutely outstanding. Yeah. Again, I texted you guys this Brian's rule, right? The more you reference the original series, the better your show is going to be.
But you know what?
Absolutely was spectacular.
You don't even have to be that deep. I mean, I just think it was a great story. I think they know what makes this work. Okay. And they know they know about making the connections, but also they couldn't make Pike just a different version of Kirk. They had to make him his own person, but then also explain at the same time why he's the man of the moment, but he's not the man for every moment.
And they keep screwing with him. It's like, okay, you can't change the future, so you don't have to die. Oh, but you shouldn't.
And then future Pike shows up, proving that his hair won't defy gravity forever.
Yeah.
and that you can't screw with the future.
Yeah.
No, I think I've now rewatched that episode 3 times, and I don't think I've ever been as happy with anything as I am that an episode of any show is that thing. It just, there's so much potential to have screwed up revisiting that episode. That original episode. There's so many things that they could have gone wrong there, but I think that's as near as you can get to a perfect Trek episode. Being referential but also moving the characters forward and also leaving them with something that to build on. And I mean, so Pike knows what his mission for the rest of his life is. He's basically got to keep Spock on the path to being Spock. And I just think that's brilliant.
And and then try not to go to Talos 4.
Yeah.
But,
yeah.
oh wait, he's already been at Talos.
He's already been.
He's already been there.
He doesn't know he's going back. That I actually said one of my disappointments for this season was I expected to see the woman again, that visited him, that in Discovery season 2. I thought it'd be kind of neat that if whenever they get close enough to Talos 4, she just shows up in his quarters. Just be like, oh, hey, I'm back.
I'm back.
So anyway,
so you talk about somebody. I was gonna say you talk about somebody trying to do a Shatner or do too much Shatner or whatever, but two things I watched. I watched a video on YouTube called Nick Cage losing his shit, which I highly recommend anybody watch. It's only like 3 or 4 minutes, but it's a compilation video of all the scenes from all the movies where Nick Cage just loses his mind. But I also watched the Nick Cage movie. The hell is it called? The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent. And Nick Cage does every version of Nick Cage in that movie.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Is it good?
It's fun. It's not great. It's fun though. What's his name? Mandalorian is great in it. Pedro Pascal. He was great in it. I enjoyed it. It was fun. But you talk about a range of an actor going from sort of, doing, the reserved version of Nick Cage all the way to the full Nick Cage. It's pretty wide range of Nick Cages in that movie.
He can be very, very intense, and he can be a little too much of him, but he's got a good sense of humor. And I mean, the thing I always think of was basically doing the Adam West voice all the way through Kick-Ass, whenever he was in character, basically doing Adam West's voice. It was just great. And, it's.
Well, he was really good in Spider-Verse too, when he did the noir version of Spider-Man.
Yep. Yes. Yep.
But yeah, he's definitely got a sense of humor in this. I mean, the fact that he's playing himself, and there are even a few scenes where he's by himself, but he's being visited by a younger version of himself that he calls Nikki, and Nikki's wearing a black leather jacket, and he's de-aged slightly, and he's like, it's just I thought it was really funny. I've been on a little bit of a Nick Cage binge, so can't go wrong with some Cage.
What's your favorite Nick Cage movie?
National Treasure, the first National Treasure.
That's a good one.
Oh, not The Rock.
I'd say The Rock.
Totally Leaving Las Vegas.
Wait,
that's my first.
That's the most depressing Nick Cage movie ever.
Him driving that car, drinking a half a gallon.
Wait a minute, he's not
vodka.
the reason I like that movie. Okay, never mind.
Face Off. No, I'm kidding. National Treasure.
I don't know that I'm necessarily rooting anything, but the premise of this movie is that, he is playing himself, and he's kind of down on his luck career-wise, and he gets offered $1 million to attend a billionaire's birthday party, just to, because the guy loves Nick Cage. And at one point when he's on the guy's compound, there's like this door that he's trying to get into, and he's like, "You really want to go in there?" And he's like, "Okay, but once you go in there, you might think of me differently." And they open the door, and it's his Nick Cage collection room where he's got all this memorabilia from all the Nick Cage movies. He's got the glass balls from The Rock, the green balls. He's got a full Nick Cage mannequin holding the guns from Face Off. It's pretty funny, very funny. We of all people would appreciate that this guy's got a room full of Nick Cage collectibles.
It's got all the hallmarks of a Nick Cage room.
There you go. Nice
for sure.
Well, I've got one.
Go for it.
So I just heard somebody sent me an email, but today it was announced that Toys R Us will return.
I saw that.
Toys R Us is coming back this fall to all Macy's stores. There will be a store within a store concept. And I think there are, I looked it up, there are about 570 Macy's stores in the US, and they're going to all have a Toys R Us, which will be a very diminished version of what we knew. And there probably won't be a focus on, the adult collectible, but it'll be more family and kid targeted.
Does Macy's have a toy department right now?
They do not have a toy
think so.
department. That's
interesting.
I don't think any of those sort of higher end.
The only one that does that I know of is Kohl's. Kohl's has a small toy department.
Right.
Well,
right.
Walmart. I mean, I guess Walmart and Kohl's aren't the same thing, right? I mean,
Walmart and Target are where most toys are sold right now, right? So,
I don't think anymore. I think no, I think the internet's upended that.
Yes. No, but I'm saying at retail.
But you mean from a retail point of view, like brick and mortar wise, I think.
From a retail standpoint, it's Walmart, Target, Kohl's during the holiday, but it's still Walmart and Target. It's
crazy how our Toys R Us got turned into a self-storage place. And just the size of that thing that, sort of sold toys, and that's all they did. And now that's just not
My Toys R Us is still empty. Nothing ever went in there.
Yeah.
On that subject line,
do you ever have dreams, Barry, that there's like the shelves are still stocked, and if you broke in,
all new old stock toys.
It's like like frozen in time in 2008.
I'm almost glad that they're not open anymore, because I used to, for years, I would pilgrimage there once a week and find nothing.
You did. Now at least...
I had one on the ride home from work, Barry, and it was like right off the highway. It took me like less than 30 seconds to get in the parking lot and walk in the door. And it was awesome. I love doing that like a few times a week. That was
I had one on my way home too. I just had to make one slight turn that was different from the way I would normally go. And I probably went there at least once a week on my way home, if not more. And very rarely came home with anything.
I used to go hit 3 on Sunday mornings back in the
the heyday,
90s. Yeah.
My designated P stop halfway to Dave's house that apparently no collectors ever went to, because I found everything I could not find at any other Toys R Us there. And I was, like I said, it's both way, I stopped there tons of times, and very clean bathrooms also. But
that's because the collectors weren't going there.
Because the collectors weren't going there. Yeah.
So anyway, TRU will be back, but it'll be a very different TRU.
I was very happy to find it in my new neighborhood, 10 minutes away. I was going to a Harbor Freight to buy a saw, and right next door is a hobby store.
Oh, cool!
A real hobby store.
An independent hobby store.
Yes, independent hobby place. And it wasn't like just we call ourselves a hobby store, but we just sell remote control cars. No, they have remote control cars, airplanes, model kits, trains. Did you know there's an O-27 Star Trek train? There is. I'll send you. There's an O-27 themed Star Trek train. It's next gen, but it's a Star Trek train. Engine and cars.
What's that? O-Gauge?
I'm so happy. They've got a row that's just Lego. And of course, all the important stuff to me is the plastruct and the copper tubing and all.
I was going to say, how's the K&S department?
It's an end cap. It could be better, but
it's
an actual real hobby store. I was so happy. I actually bought a model I already owned just to support them.
Nice. I haven't been to a hobby store, but I've been following K&S on social media, and they're pretty cool. They're not a big presence, not a big following, but I asked a question or answered a question. They sent me a T-shirt. It's 30% off for the whole month of July. I was very close to buying. They have sort of the display of one of almost everything you want.
That's what Adam has, one of those, right?
That's the one.
Adam has one in his shop. It's every piece.
It's not that much money. It's like $650, and you can get it for 30% off. I just don't have the space for it.
Really?
Brian,
you need that for your new workshop.
Do they sell filament there?
Filament.
I was thinking about this the other day. I was like,
now that you mention it, no, I didn't see a 3D printer there.
Who would sell that filament at retail? You know what I'm saying?
You know who does? Fanboy Collectibles. No.
But I'm saying like
Micro Center. Do you have a Micro Center near you?
No.
That's where I got that.
I'm just trying to think of like where filament and printers in the spectrum of things. And it's like, and if somebody sold it at retail, where would that be? And a hobby shop was the only thing I could think of.
A hobby shop adding a 3D printer would actually be interesting.
I don't know about out here, but in California there was a 3D printer store in every mall. So they sold printers. And
I've never seen one.
You should have never left California. Is what I'm gathering.
Yeah, we've been meaning to talk to you about that. We took a vote, and you're going to have to go back.
You got to go back.
just to keep the Disney
those
pipeline
pod guys put them back on the truck.
That's it. Back in the pod.
Back to California.
Yep.
I have a hobby shop.
Printer store.
I have a hobby shop near me that, not that near me. It's a 20-minute drive, but the guy, I've texted Dave and Todd pictures.
Pictures are amazing.
The guy has tens of thousands of model kits that won't even fit shelves anymore. So the aisles are stacked with them, and you literally can only walk single file down these very packed aisleways, and you can't even find anything warehouse anymore.
It looks like the indie warehouse if there was twice as much shit. Okay.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. And every time I go, there's more. And I don't think anything ever sells. I don't know how this guy stays in business, but he keeps adding stock. And
is it just a place for his collection that he happens to have a retail?
No, it's an active, and it's the same kind of thing. He does a lot of remote control cars, but there's models of every genre. I mean, military models and airplanes and boats and all the sci-fi models you could ever want. It's crazy, and it's where I go to when I need paint. That's where I go because he has a full line
model, and it was like from the early 2000s. I was like, "Oh, is that a re-release?" He says, "No, it's just been there that long."
Here the
guy still has it.
There used to be. I think they closed a guy in the city on 45th Street, the Red Caboose or something. It was called. It was a basement thing. It was like that. It was just it's stuff that's never sold. It wasn't well organized. A nicely organized hobby shop is awesome.
Yeah.
But I will say this, as crazy and messed up as that place is, when I was looking for the decal set, the aftermarket decal set that they made for the USS Reliant model kit, I asked him if he had it, and he goes, "Oh, hang on a second." He walked away, and he came back a minute later with it. He knew where it was, and that's
pretty obscure.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, if there's a hobby store near you anywhere out there, go there and buy something.
Yeah, support.
Yeah, I mean, I could buy all my paint on Amazon, but I try to go to this guy's shop and buy stuff whenever I can.
Yeah, I've got one I haven't been to in a while. I should check it out. I mean, I don't really need. I need paints. I've been buying my paints online. I mean,
we don't have one here, but I was missing just a couple months ago, Barry. I was thinking about where do I get the little testers or Pactra. I don't even know what the current brands are, but the little things. I was thinking I might paint some miniatures again, but there's no hobby store in Chattanooga.
You want to know the problem is? There's probably 30 companies making paint now. It's crazy. Go on megahobby.com. They have all kinds of stuff.
Citadel is probably the one that makes the best paints for miniatures, though. So I think Citadel makes some really good paints.
Yeah. So what's the other one in the bottom?
They're a miniatures maker.
Yeah, they also make the paints.
The Tamiya I like their paints the best.
Yeah.
Barry's got his little drawer his little cabinet full of paints.
I do, but yeah, it's this. Citadel makes them in these like little containers.
Okay.
I haven't seen
this paint. Believe it or not, I bought this color to repaint a vintage Max Rebo figure, and it was the perfect color blue.
That is Max Rebo blue. That's
yeah.
Oh well,
it's actually called. What color do they call this? This is
Max Rebo blue.
Temple Guard blue. Temple Guard blue.
Temple Guard.
There you go.
That's funny.
So the store I play Magic the Gathering at also does Warhammer and miniatures. I think they carry that stuff, so that's where I'll get it. If the testers and Pactra don't exist anymore, if it's all moved over to the hobby side.
Testers actually stopped making Model Masters paint altogether. They still make some of their paints.
That was
but
good
the Model
paint
Master line,
too. I like the Model Master stuff.
Then I know where to go. Okay.
Yeah, I pretty much use Vallejo and
Vallejos. That's the other one I was thinking of. That's the
Vallejos
in bottles,
and the Tamiya paints are pretty much what I use 90% of the time.
Is it named after Boris Vallejo?
I don't think so.
His brother Ricardo Vallejo.
Yeah, people buy them just for the labels. They're amazing.
Yeah.
So I went to a science fiction convention this weekend.
You did?
I went to a Star Trek convention this weekend.
Where was that?
What?
In Hunt Valley, Maryland. It's called Shore Leave.
Hunt Valley has Monster Mania conventions.
They have a
too.
lot of conventions at that hotel. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was a Interesting convention. It was their 42nd.
Wow.
Show. The guests were Summer Glau.
Not on Star Trek. She hasn't been at a convention in a long time.
She was there signing. So was Adam Baldwin. I never saw her.
Oh, okay.
Adam Baldwin was there. The guy from Warehouse 13 was there. The guy who plays Superman on TV currently was there. So they had some pretty good guests. Gates McFadden. Neelix from Voyager sat 3 stools down from me in the bar, buying plump fangirls drinks all night long.
Nice. Neelix.
Go Neelix.
Yeah. And it was interesting because it's an old convention full of a lot of old fans. I got to say, Star Trek fandom is aging for certain.
Yeah.
Small throwback con, the dealer's room you could walk around in 10 minutes. Didn't stop me from buying some things, but it was still.
Well, that's good.
Yeah. Those are the best shows when you can walk around, see everything, and get some good stuff.
And you can get into every panel, and there's empty seats. It wasn't a problem.
Interesting. When Barry and I went to that fan premiere a couple of months ago, the audience split. That there were a whole bunch of people in their like late 40s, 50s, even to early 60s, and then a bunch of really young people. Yeah, nope. I don't think there's anybody in their 30s, but
that was the same thing when I went to the Discovery season 2 premiere, which I always like to say that I went to just to rub it into Todd that I got to go.
Not forgetting
now that Discovery sucks, I don't think it stings as much.
Now that Discovery sucks, it doesn't have the same cachet. But yeah, that was almost all young people there. I mean, and they were really into it, which was so surprising. But I guess they are responding to the subject matter. I guess
they don't know better. So
they were young and diverse.
They know they know not of what they see.
They're very inclusive.
Very inclusive, diverse.
Yeah, all the young people at this show were there with their mom.
That's interesting. I've heard of that show, but I haven't actually seen it publicized. You would think you would.
I've been there. Kathy and we were here visiting about 10 years ago, and it was a very vibrant, lots of costumes, great show. But it's just maybe it's a post-COVID thing. It could very well be that, keeping the people away. But the costumes were down, and it was a very, very quiet convention.
Huh. Yeah, there's Monster Mania. That is not. It's not all monsters because Barry and I have been a couple times. They do it in Cherry Hill and they do it in Hunt Valley.
And you and I need to talk about it. But we were considering going to the one in Cherry Hill. It's in August 12th to 14th.
Yeah, we're talking about it. I already kind of put that out there, and I got a what? What do you want me to do? So I'm working it.
Where's Cherry Hill?
Cherry Hill.
It's on the border of Philly. Yeah, it's like just north of Philly into Jersey.
Oh,
it's like 3 hours from you, I'm guessing.
Yeah,
less than 3 for you. It's less than 3 because
an interesting. I was just gonna say it's an interesting guest list for this one because they're really doing like a Scream themed thing. Although Neve Campbell did back out of it, she had to postpone, I guess. So
Oh, because I just looked the other day, she was still on.
I wanted to look at her to see her. Yeah. But they also have a bit of an Aliens reunion going. So, and Ralph Macchio is going to be there, but and Julie Benz is going to be there, who I definitely want to look at. But Lance Henriksen's going to be there, Tom Skerritt, Jeanette Goldstein, Mark Ralston, Veronica Cartwright, and most importantly, Carrie Henn, who played Newt, who none of us have autographs from on our Alien posters. So Aliens posters.
And I need Lance Henriksen on mine. So
I mean, I'll drive there just to get her because in all the shows I've ever gone to, she's never been at one. So
yeah, I have to be. I'm in Virginia for my mother's birthday that Saturday, and I would be heading back will be heading back first thing Sunday morning. So it's right on the way. I just have to work the right people to be able to stop for a bit to let that happen.
Yeah. It's funny. I was watching. So we had met Mark Ralston twice now, and he was on our podcast at one point. I was watching Shawshank Redemption this weekend, and I never realized that he was in that. But he plays. Yeah, he plays one of the sisters.
Yeah, big time.
Who gives Andy Dufresne a hard time.
Quite a hard time.
Yes. So speaking of conventions, because that wasn't the one I was going to bring up, let's just do a head count right now. Are we all going to Rhode Island Comic Con this year?
Oh yeah.
I know Dave, Todd, and I are going.
And Brian's going. We all confirmed we're all going.
Brian's okay, good.
Going. Oh yeah.
The guest list is really shaping up. I know it's months away, but they've got. I was looking at their website today. They've got some people that, even though I may not be interested in getting autographs from them, like I've just never seen at shows before. So Vincent D'Onofrio is going to be there. John Cleese is going to be there.
That's weird.
Wow.
Like, it's weird, right? But like,
what is
he's a freaking legend.
What is a Cleese autograph going to cost? Oh my God.
I thought
it was. You know what? That's my other thing I wanted to mention. It seemed to me like prices were, because a lot of the prices are already posted, and it seems like they're lower than usual.
He's 100.
Most autographs were. No, I think he was even less than that.
Was he?
But most of them are like $40 to $60, or some of them are even less. But Anne Heche is going to be there.
That makes no sense.
Now, I don't really have a feeling either way, other than the fact that she's notoriously one of the few actresses you can actually see her butthole in a movie. So that never happens.
What?
No, this is true. In the remake of Psycho, in the shower scene, apparently I've been told that when they kill her in the movie, you can actually see her butt hole. So whatever.
Did not know that.
So on a Kevin Smith podcast, they actually have a theme song called Anne Heche's Butthole, which is hilarious. But
I need to get her on my.
All right, Barry, you've got to get
You
that
Dave,
picture and get
just
her
stop
to sign
that now.
that.
Just don't go there.
No, I need to get her on my
great,
6 days, 7 nights poster.
I don't even want to
Harrison
type
Ford
that
on
into
that.
a search engine, Barry.
it's like this Anne Heche's Butthole. Let's all go inside. It's great. It's a great song. Alicia Silverstone's going to be there.
She is?
Oh my!
Did we know that?
I looked at the website today and saw all these names. Michael Rooker's going to be there.
Rooker's always.
Zach Levi's going to be there.
Oh, Zach Levi's 100.
So,
Zach Levi's 100.
James Earl Hale, Jackie
James
Earl
Earl,
Haley
not
from
Jones.
Watchmen's going to be there. Like, there's some great, and I know you're going to laugh, but I'm actually really excited. Ahmed Best is going to be there. I've never seen him at a convention before. Only $30 for an autograph.
We saw him at
Why
Celebration.
so low? Misa so low.
Misa not sure, Daryl.
We saw him at Celebration.
Gonna make it up in volume.
Yeah, listen, I was very impressed. Like, Danny Trejo's going to be there. There's some good people from Book of Boba Fett, Mandalorian are going to be there. So I'm excited.
One of the guys from
lineup.
Supernatural.
I'm
And his
going to miss
wife.
you guys. I'm going to miss you guys this year. I don't think I'm going to make the trip. It'll be the first Rhode Island Comic Con I haven't seen you guys at live for 5-6 years.
Yeah.
So.
Oh man, who's gonna help us wrangle the troops in the lobby without Daryl?
Brian will have to do that.
Was it Rhode Island where they had the life-size Rancor? I think it was.
Yes,
Yeah.
it was.
Yeah, they
it was
did
like
the
4
first
years.
year.
Boy, if they got that for pictures of Danny Trejo, that would be so cool.
That would be amazing.
First
I would
year we
hope
went,
those
I think,
guys-
because I remember that was in the back there where Riddle was. The first time we met her.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Oh, yeah. Did you see who watched Ms. Marvel? You know, Riddle's in the first or second episode.
I saw her in the first
Ms. Marvel.
She is.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I've
just
watched Ms. Marvel.
a couple shots.
What
They
was
had
she
that-
at the convention?
She's at the convention.
Convention.
Okay.
Oh, I
sequence.
missed that.
Yeah.
I
She's in
actually
costume.
like. I don't want to talk about the show, but I'm actually liking it. It definitely
Good.
has a Spider-Man vibe.
I said I just stalled on the first episode. I got to get back into it because
I think it's cute. It's a cute show.
I think,
people have rated this as the best Marvel series so far.
I love it.
I can see
Holy
young people
cow.
doing it, and we'll get into the show once everyone watches
I'll
it.
get
but
caught up.
I think it has a nice Spider-Man vibe. It's got a nice different culture vibe that is not hitting you over the head severely. And the girl in it, I don't think she's ever acted before. She's terrific.
She has not.
Terrific.
I had to look her up. I'm like, who is this?
Me too.
She was, but she's a real world fan. Like she was a Marvel fan and auditioned.
She's
for
terrific. So we should talk about that.
Terrific. Yeah.
I was just so surprised because I watched it with Maria and she did not connect with it at all. So we haven't gone back to watch any. I watched the first episode and she was like bored. So I'm going to have to go back and watch it.
I
I
liked
totally
the first
missed it, Barry.
episode,
I thought
and
you were the one that said you had watched 4 episodes, so it was you, Dave.
I'm up. I think 4. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah,
I'm done with the series. I loved it.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll jump into it this week then. I finished Umbrella Academy and a couple of things I had to knock off, and
Yeah, I've only watched 1 episode of Umbrella Academy so far.
I haven't gotten to it yet. Still trying to stay caught up with Star Trek and For All Mankind. Hard enough. And Stranger Things. Hard enough.
I know. I just finished Stranger
Well, we talked
Things.
about it like 2 months ago, saying that this was, the summer was going to be a lot of good stuff to watch.
Oh, it's so much content. Oh my gosh. It's a dream
so
come true to all these
let's
shows.
go around in whatever your favorite thing that you're watching right now.
That's not over.
That's not current.
So Strange New Worlds doesn't
You
count.
can't say Strange New Worlds, and I can't say Strange New World. You can't say Kenobi. So,
but it's over if you finish anyway.
No, but I'm saying actively watching. That's actively dropping like right now. So,
For All Mankind.
Favorite show that's actively dropping right now, Todd.
Yeah, that's in process right now.
Yeah, for me, I got
it For All Mankind. Yeah,
For All Mankind.
For All Mankind.
Yeah, one of the episodes are slow, and then oh my god, here it is.
Yeah, the show is famous for being a little draggy in the middle. These shows are all famous for being draggy in the middle. Yeah,
I'm not done with Ms. Marvel. I'm really enjoying that.
This season of the Orville's been
Orville's
really
good.
high on my list.
Really good. Is really good.
On
I would say for me, big surprise. It's evil, but I had to really stop and think about whether it's For All Mankind. And I think it's terrific, and that show just gets better all the time. If they could just excise this storyline with Tracy and Gordo's son, I would like the show probably 20% better. But
would he just snap already? Come on,
that's what I'm just saying.
Already.
It's like,
yeah.
I actually haven't seen last week, so
just
don't say
space
anything.
Ed and get it over with. Okay,
Yeah. We're
it's going to happen.
Are you guys all at least in far enough into For All Mankind for the Mars landing? Have you all been to the Mars landing?
I'm 1 episode behind, and I do believe that's the Mars landing.
Oh, okay. You're 2 behind then.
I'm not 2 behind.
And you saw the Mars landing, but
we did see the Mars landing.
Yeah.
Then you're 2 behind.
You haven't seen anything past that.
Yeah.
Okay. So when Ed, spoiler alert, people, when Ed wasn't the first one down to Mars, were you happy or sad?
For Ed?
I think he did the right thing.
No, overall, because the NASA ship made it first. Were you happy the NASA ship made it first, or were you sad for Ed that he didn't make it first? Which motion
I think
would you give more weight?
I think I wanted the dickhead running Helios to lose so bad that I could take it away from Ed for that reason.
And Ed did the right thing, though.
He did the right thing.
I am with you, but I really wish they'd give it that to Ed. But I'm with you. I really want to see Helios guy lose too. But I really to Ed lose it twice.
I wanted the Russians to be first, but
he did get to land. They were first.
I know. I love how they wrestled out of the door.
That was pretty funny.
Ed at least made it to Mars. I guess he did make it to the moon eventually, but
and he wouldn't have been first to the moon anyways. So he's just, but it's
yeah.
No, he would have been first.
He would have been first
if he was on Apollo 10 and landed.
If they did that, right? Yes, if they did
first,
right.
Yep.
But that's really, we all know that's made up because Tom Hanks was on Apollo 10. No, that was Apollo 8.
Oh, 8. Yeah.
Or was it 10? No, it was 8.
No, he was on 8. Yeah. He had more laps around the moon than any human.
Yeah. All right. Is anyone else got anything? Because we're going to go what's in the box.
So I had one other little quick thing. So this is something I read this week that just like I kept cycling back to. So Richie Palmer, who's a producer at Marvel, was talking about Phase 4 and the reaction to Phase 4. And if you give me a quick quote here, it says, Phase 4 is all about reaction. I don't mean on our part as filmmakers. I mean the characters. It's a reaction to the trauma of Avengers, Infinity War, and Endgame. We're still feeling those effects in these movies years later. Okay, now this is the thing that tripped me up. It's also something we spoke to Elizabeth Olsen about every step of the way, that for her, Wanda's full journey is leading to a moment of accountability, and I think she's gotten there. Now, we left Wanda, sorry people, spoilers, under a pile of frickin' rocks. Okay.
After she wanted to kill everybody. That's not accountable.
It's just like, that's...
Maybe he meant under those rocks, she's got lots of time to think about what she's done.
Was that interview from like 6 months ago, Todd?
No, that's current, leading to a moment of accountability, and we think she's gotten there. Okay? It's like, you're not sure?
Kevin Feige probably fired him.
That's accountability. And B, you kind of think that like, it's just like, yeah.
By the way, after hearing
people,
after hearing your guys' review of Thor last weekend, I'm not going to go see it.
I got to tell you, I've had a number of conversations with people about Thor, and they go exactly like our conversation. They were like, "Oh, it was good, but I didn't like this, and I didn't like this, and this felt a little weird."
Yeah,
and I'm like, this is now like 5 lunch conversations I've had with people who are like, "Oh, maybe I didn't like it as much as I thought," and they all end up the same place, and I just sit there without saying anything, and it's like,
well, Brian, I would recommend you see it. If you've seen every other Marvel movie, then it's worth seeing.
I'll wait 6 weeks and watch it.
I'll wait till it streams. Yeah, I'll get it on a stream. Yeah, I'll get it on a stream.
Well, I think you guys were right on. I totally agreed with you. But it also, I thought back to our conversation. I think it was back in, when was it, after Doctor Strange came out?
Yep.
Right? I said, holy heck, is this the new Marvel universe where all of these like insanely mind-blowing cosmic things are just happening in these movies that it's impossible to get your mind around. Like, I mean, there were good stories. I even liked the Natalie Portman's character journey. I felt it fit in fine here. I thought it was great. But, it's all this stuff like, this is the key to infinity, and whoever gets there first can wish whatever to, destroy the universe or whatever they want to do. It's like, where is all this cosmic power coming from? It's just
I feel like it's just invented for this movie. Yeah.
But is this the future of Marvel, that everything has to have like this crazy, incredible, like over the top, unbelievable stuff?
We need we need another Winter Soldier. That's
the thing, though. It's like the Infinity War and Endgame were such high consequence. They can't get to that spot again.
Yeah, how do you top it? Right.
Okay.
Yeah, how do you top it? Well,
you got to do some smaller stories.
But that's why you need an Ant-Man type movie where it's not trying to top that. It's
but people are now looking to see these threads that are going to tie everything together, and I don't know that they have that right now.
But that's why. Man, sorry, Todd. Go ahead.
No, I'm just saying I don't see that they have that, and people are not looking for a slow build over the next 10 years the way they were able to do, the first time around.
Yeah,
I think I think they're misstep. I think it's fine to sort of rebuild with some smaller quality movies. Those are the ones that grew on you. I mean, it's certainly Winter Soldier, but Ant-Man was a small movie relatively. I'm fine with that. I don't know.
Winter Soldier built off stuff that they did before, and they needed to do that stuff before. And I'm just saying, it just seems like they've got the pieces on the board, and they're not quite knowing what to do with them.
Well, that's why I think TV can be so good for them. Like, I think the TV series have been such a, in general, a very high quality. I mean, I know you guys don't like, the new Captain America, TV series. I liked it because it like slowed things down, and I got into just kind of a different cadence, and I wasn't worried about these world shaking events.
Well, that's interesting. I mean, that's what's good about Ms. Marvel. It's a pretty small story.
Exactly, you're right, Dave. Ms. Marvel, and to an extent, you guys have made me come around to appreciate Hawkeye more, especially since Todd.
Hawkeye, yeah. Again, same thing. Well, it's funny when you say it. I personally don't love Loki because I think it's too big of a story that doesn't make a lot of sense. I enjoy the Hawkeye and the Ms. Marvel and those smaller ones.
Yeah.
What's next? So I know we asked this. I asked this. Is She-Hulk this summer or next year?
There's now a little pause between the next thing. I think the next thing's in the fall.
It's Black Panther, isn't it?
I'm talking about
in
TV
series.
shows.
Oh,
I
TV
think
shows.
She-Hulk
right.
is the next series, I think.
Yeah. So,
And Black Panther's what, November?
yeah.
That makes no sense. You have heard
Yeah, we got
nothing about that.
Black Panther, and then, I think Marvel is at San Diego, and they've also got stuff they're going to announce at D23. So we'll be hearing more.
The thing I'm most
D23
looking forward to now is Echo. That's all.
D23 will be big.
And somebody's in that
Echo. I'm looking
Ironheart.
forward to Echo.
Well, now you are.
Yep.
Okay, let's go. What's in the box?
All right, what's in the box?
Daryl, you tell me what's in the box.
So, so Brian, you've been to my office here because you visited the house, and during the winter, I have my succulent collection inside, which is great. It gives me
you keep that to
good
yourself.
oxygen. During the summer, they're outside.
Oh, they're
So
plants. I got you.
I found a way to bring more plants in thanks to the Lego Botanical Collection.
Succulents.
So this set that I'm holding up is in the box. It's the succulent
No
collection,
kidding.
but I also have two more that are built and in the office. This is the bonsai tree, and it's amazing what you can do with Lego elements. This is
Oh my God.
it's totally amazing, and I've got an
And you never
orchid
have to
plant.
prune it.
What's that, Barry?
You never have to prune the bonsai
Just
tree.
dust
never have
it.
to
Just dust
prune
it
it.
occasionally. That's all.
It even comes with blossoms you can put on for I guess when they bloom.
This
This is why I love Daryl.
But Lego is just off the charts. They're doing such crazy cool things anymore, and I think it's proof that they've taken these elements and made them totally look organic. For what should be like an inorganic thing. This collection of brick elements. I love them. So anyway, the Lego Botanical Collection is my what's in the box, and I recommend it highly.
Nice.
Cool.
You can pick somebody.
All right, Barry, what you got? What's in the box?
I don't have much, so I'm going to show. Speaking of Vallejo paints, I got a set of Vallejo Air War gray paints.
Oh, they're all gray.
I needed 8 more shades of gray, apparently. So I've been working on a F-14A from Top Gun, and even though these are, I think these are Navy colors, but I needed. No, these are Air Force. I needed, but they're the same grades.
You needed Navy.
So we'll
but
do a
they aren't.
mixture. We'll do what's in the box and what's on my workbench. This is coming along nicely.
Oh.
Ooh.
Finally starting to look like a plane. And I did the worst part over the weekend, which was masking the cockpit pieces and painting them. So it's almost done.
Where's
I'm sorry, I
Bruce?
missed
Bottom
it.
is-
What model is it? F-14?
It's the F-14A from the first Top Gun movie. It's Maverick's plane.
Oh, yeah.
So it's coming along. It's a lot of detail on this. I did about 4 hours of decal work yesterday. So
Boy.
more pictures when it's complete.
That looks awesome, BK.
Thanks. Yeah, it's coming out pretty nicely. Brian, what's in the box? What's in
I
all
can't-
those boxes behind you?
I can't hold it up because it's just too big. I texted you guys that I got this. I just sent you more pictures in the text thread. The 1/6 scale Millennium Falcon.
Oh yeah.
Oh, look at that.
It is so nice. I'm so impressed by it. Ferris
Look at the
Bueller.
lights.
It
Wow.
is so choice. If you have the means, I highly
There you go.
It's amazing that they can do something in with this much detail in an unlicensed piece.
Oh,
This
yes,
is
yeah.
unlicensed?
Yeah.
This one, yes. This is the
all their Star
Batmobile.
Wars
The Batmobile is licensed. The Millennium Falcon is not.
This is Hot
Brian,
Toys?
you put a little haze on this, and I would think that was like shot from the film.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just
Daryl, it's a company called Jazz Inc. They're
Jazz
a
Inc.
unlicensed Star Wars. They do a lot of things. All their Star Wars stuff has been unlicensed, but amazing nonetheless.
And they also do, which I'm not going to get, a 1/6 scale Falcon. The what do you call it? Where the chess set was, that whole bay.
Oh, they've got the whole cargo
thing
bay with the
in
chess
1/6
table
scale.
and
Yeah.
see.
Wow.
The downside is you need the figures to go with it.
Yeah.
so,
I'm
Brian.
finding
You could get it piece by piece as they keep making, and then the turret, and then pretty
How
soon
big a
the
1/6 scale
cargo
Millennium
storage
Falcon
thing,
would be.
and that would take up your new garage.
Yeah.
Hot Toys
yeah,
built one once for display at Comic-Con, if you remember. They built a 1/6 scale.
And I fell in love with that thing when I saw it there and thought, oh, if they only would ever come out with it, and they never did. And I saw Jazz Inc. had this. I just finished my subscription to their Batmobile, so I'm on the list for that to show up. And I kept seeing this, and it's in stock and it's ready to go, and so I pulled the trigger on it. Nice. But you're right, the figures are going to wind up costing more than the Falcon.
This is bad because this makes me want it so badly.
And I
have all the figures to go in it.
And you have the figures all ready to go in it. Yes.
Yep.
It is not a small item.
You got some room behind you, Barry? That corner back
there.
Yeah.
I could definitely make it fit.
Nice.
Crazy. Nice. All right, who's next?
Brian's choice.
Todd, what's in the box?
So it's a very, very basic thing. I showed the guys this week when it showed up. This is the first actual Moon Knight action figure from the TV series. Okay.
Oh my!
This is a whopping $12, and this is made for kids. It's got 7 points of articulation. I cannot imagine someone buying this for their child, nor can I imagine someone. You see the box there. A child playing with this thing. It's like, I have issues. I'm Mark. I'm Steven. It's like, let's go be vengeance. Again, that this exists it just boggles my mind. But this is the
thing
first...
needs a paint wash or something on it, Todd.
It needs to have its crotch joints filled in.
Yeah, that's a little
pretty bad.
But
I would love to get my hands on that and give it a nice paint wash just to bring out some of the
Barry,
detail
I'll send you
sculpting.
one. I'll send you one because they're cheap. I've got the two Marvel Legends ones pre-ordered, the two different versions, and I've got the Hot Toys one, and I've got a statue that should actually come out this summer sometime. But there was a Disney reissue of a previous figure, which really was just a repaint. So this is the first actual new sculpt. Again, I have no idea what the market for this is. I just cannot fathom like some kid playing this with his Captain America figure.
Well, we know they sold at least one.
We know they sold it.
I think that's the Marvel show that's probably created the least merchandise demand of any.
And again, like I said, it's just like, really, somebody
Did they have
just
the purple hippo lady action figure to go with it?
That is Hasbro. Yeah, no, that's a later release. But yeah, that's a
Hasbro. I thought it would be some Chinese company. That's Hasbro.
No, it's their affordable kid rate price range.
Yeah, they make everything in this level. And
is it 12-inch scale? Because they also do an 8-inch tub.
No, this is actually a 1/6 scale.
Okay,
and gigantic hands. And but it's just like I said,
I can't get over the hip and crotch gap.
Yeah, that's quality. I have
and the hands. Like, what's the point of having the hands posed like that? It's not like he has accessories to hold.
This is exactly, with the exception of the wrists pivoting. Okay, this is the articulation of a Kenner Star Wars figure. It's like it's just the neck turns and the and again, just a bizarre thing to make. But they also made all the Eternals figures too. So
all of them.
Oh
my gosh.
I was in a Target and I was like, holy crap. I could buy every single one of these figures, but why would I?
I bet they just clogged up the shelves. Oh my gosh.
And they're just clogging the shelves. But anyways,
those are going to end up in a landfill somewhere.
Speaking of which, the Eternals is the one Marvel movie I have not watched. Because
you're not missing anything.
You will have to dedicate
these guys
2+ hours of your life to that sometime.
I've not watched it.
Daryl, just to say you've completed it, but
I'm gonna.
I'm sorry for that time. How you'll spend that time.
Oh, I've got to figure out a time when I can waste 2 hours.
Well, look, at least you have Angelina Jolie and Selma Hayek to look at, so it's not that.
You should build a botanical Lego while you're doing it.
That would actually be a better time spent.
That's a good idea, Brian. I will do that.
So, anyways, I have every Moon Knight figure made. And so I had to get this just to complete that. I think I missed a couple pops, but we've ruled those out. So, anyways, that's my thing. Dave, are you the one that's left?
Yes. Okay. As previously mentioned, I'm trying to pick something up. I bought I'm trying not to touch this idol with my hands because I got the idol from Disney, Shop Disney. Now, give
me the idol. Give me the idol, senor.
Give me the whip. Give me the whip.
Give me the whip.
So I read a lot of stuff on the RPF about it, and there's a lot of things go by. I think the sculpt is good, and I think the finish is obviously really nice. But some people think it's the right size because a lot of them are undersized. I'm not sure what the right answer is.
It looks big.
It does look big. There it is.
It looks bigger than the one I have, which is supposedly cast off of a screen and used. Like they all say they are, right?
But then there's like the Toys NK one, which is too small. So I don't know. But I don't have one, and Mark has one that's painted, doesn't look that great, but I really do like the finish and looks good on the shelf.
It looks
so that's
amazing.
Trying not it's pouring here, by the way. So then I got which one is that, Todd?
This is the Toy NK one.
Yeah, that one looks small.
I don't think it's small. I think my hands are bigger than yours. How tall is yours?
Does anyone have a ruler?
Todd has giant hands.
I do have giant hands.
Andre the giant hands.
How many and a half?
8.5.
8.5.
Oh, no, mine's 7.5. So
maybe your hands aren't as big as
my idol is 7.5. So.
Yeah. Anyway, the other thing, like Daryl mentioned, is the Shankara stone.
Yes.
Which, first of all, it doesn't have the 3 lines on it at all.
No, they seem to go away when it's lit up, right?
Does it? Well, yeah, this one does light up.
Well, because I was looking to buy a fan created lighted version on the internet, and all of them, they don't have the 3 lines on them. None of them do.
Huh.
But then this thing seems big too, because after I bought this and was not happy about it, I'm not returning. I did buy what most people on the RPF consider the good static one, which is this Landron.
That's the one I have, yeah.
That's the one I have as well.
Yeah. It makes it go, but these are on the same plane.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Big difference.
Very different.
Yeah.
When you put them together, they glow for some reason. So I don't know. I have them both on my shelf.
I put them both on my shelf too. So
it is big. I don't know.
I like them both, and there could be variety in Sankara stones. That's how I kind of chalked it up. So
yeah, I mean, yeah, and this one's $55, which is a bargain. So check out.
And I got mine probably 15 years ago, and he's still making the exact same one. And he does a great job with them.
He's good. Landron, Landron. He's got a lot of other stuff too. He's got stuff to display the idol. He's got stuff to display the I have Staff of Ra.
His display for the headpiece of the Staff of Ra.
Yeah.
You saw it when you were here. Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know what the size the idol should be, but for the money, they're fine. I mean, I think the idol, the stone for $80.
I think it's better to be a little too big than a little too small.
That's what I'm always told. So I don't know. Yeah. Anyway,
size
so
matters
that's
not.
What's in the box.
But Yoda said.
Oh, last thought, which we didn't get to last week because we were going for like 6 hours. Todd, you had that last thought about the text.
Oh, Jesus. Okay. Yes. Thank you. Just a second.
Todd's still feeling good from his Caribbean vacation.
That's
2 weeks ago, we said I said the word, hey, text us, not meaning text us, but we did give the text number and said, leave us a message on the text.
Which we haven't given in like 4 years.
Yeah.
That's right. But Doug Monroe texted and he wished me a happy birthday. So I wanted to reach out
Thank
to
you,
Doug.
There
you go. Thank you
and
very
your
much.
Birthday, it was also like 2 weeks ago.
It also 2 weeks ago. But thank you for verifying that the text number still works.
Thank you, Doug. Good long-time listener, good friend of the show. We appreciate that.
Yay, Doug.
and good to know that text line still functions. So
That's right.
not that we're going to give the number out again for another 4 years, but if we do, it'll work.
Yeah. So, well, good as always to get the whole crew in. Love catching up with you guys, Brian. Good luck with all the boxes.
Thanks.
At some point, it becomes fun. I don't know when.
I don't know. Yeah. Shatner was in Ticonderoga this weekend again.
Oh yes, that's correct.
I missed that too.
Yeah. I know. I feel like at one point I'm like, oh, I should go. How many more Shatners at Ticonderoga are we gonna have?
He's going in November, and I tentatively am planning to go. So
when in November? Do you know?
It usually goes around Thanksgiving, right?
Around Thanksgiving, I think. Yeah.
You're becoming his IT guy there, right?
Yeah. Let's see here.
You're not going to run into him at the airport again, though.
Not anymore because I'm flying from a different place now. I'll probably drive up there.
God, that's a long drive, right?
That's a hell of a drive.
That's
from where
got
you
to
are.
be. I'm trying to think. You're let's call it 5 hours from me, and that place is almost 4 hours. It's like a 9-hour drive.
Okay. That was how far it was from Daryl's house. It's like, guys, I've been doing this.
That's nothing. I mean, you drove across country, so that's nothing. Yeah. To me, that's like ridiculous. But
yeah, I'm doing 7 hours tomorrow, and oof. I'm not looking forward to it.
November 18th through the 20th.
Right. If I can do that, I'll go.
That'll be like the week after Rhode Island.
It's 2 weekends after Rhode Island, and it is literally the day after I'm in Germany for Electronica. That'll be fun.
We can get a carpool going. I would think about going.
Oh man, you guys are tempting me. Ooh, I haven't been.
The last day is my 55th birthday.
Oh,
I haven't been there.
That's a good present to yourself.
I think it would be. We all need to be there at one time. That would be amazing.
Actually, and the thing to do is not go on a Shatner weekend, guys.
And then after that hour is over, we'll.
No, we want to see Shatner.
I could, or go and stay another day because I know I can get them to let us do a show from the bridge set or the conference room set would make more sense.
Oh my god!
And I'm sure you're never going to make that happen on a Shatner weekend.
Shatner weekend. There's nothing else is focused on. But if we go on a non-Shatner weekend, we could probably.
We got to do the podcast from the Enterprise. Come on. Yeah. That'd be amazing.
All right. I got to do it.
Okay. Well, we'll figure that out. We'll let you know. That out. Yeah. Okie dokie. And thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening.